Well, we're at it again this weekend. Lori and I are packing up the car, and even Leroy's going with us. We're going to go on a hike, a short hike this time, called the Dublin Gap Nature Trail up at Colonel Denning State Park. That's coming up next on Cool Places Across America with CNL. Off on another hike. This time we're going to do the Dublin Gap Nature Trail at Colonel Denning State Park. It's near Newville, Pennsylvania, not far from that other trail that we did in a different episode at the Cumberland Valley Rail Trail. This is an easy hike. It's only going to be about a mile and a half, but we have Leroy with us and he's still a puppy. We don't want to overdo it with him. Plus we want to get him out there and get him used to being on trails, because our hope is as he gets a little bit older we can go on longer hikes and he'll be used to the trails and so forth. I can't wait to get there. This is going to be a neat little walk for us.
Are you excited about this hike? You look super excited. Are you just resting up?
So as we were driving, we found this place called Hidden Valley Tiny Farm Market on Bobcat Road in Newville. And when they say tiny market, it is a tiny farm market. But it's kind of neat. You can walk in, it's self-serve, and they sell eggs, milk, ice cream, and cheese. And you know that these are going to be pretty good because they're right there on the farm with the cows standing guard. Before we get back on the road, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so you'll get content from us, and like this video. Now let's get back in the car and keep driving to Dublin Gap Nature Trail. Okay, as you probably noticed with the drive, it's very, very rural in this part of Pennsylvania. To get to Dublin Gap Nature Trail in Colonel Denning State Park, it's actually north of the turnpike, but there's really not an exit in Newville for the turnpike. You're going to have to end up driving to either Shippensburg or Carlisle, depending upon what direction you're coming from.
And it's not really a bad drive. The countryside is certainly beautiful to look at. When you pull into the state park, there's a lot of really, really great amenities. This specific part of the state park, you have a bathroom, a lake, a swimming area, lots of good trails to hike. There's running water, and there's also a charging station for an electric car if you have an electric car.
Okay, we made it to the Dublin Gap Nature Trail. We're standing on the dam, and behind me you can see a beach. In the area there's restrooms, and the neat thing is there's a lot of these signs along the path too. This one tells a little bit about snakes in the area. I hope we don't find any of those.
Well, so far it's a nice nature trail. It's a little muddy in spots, but it's not too bad. Leroy just didn't like the two tread bridge, but otherwise he's doing pretty good.
Here's another sign along this Dublin Gap Nature Trail. This one's about forests and hemlocks and a bunch of other neat things. Okay, we're on the hike for a little bit now. Leroy's being that pup. This is why we need to train him. Sometimes he's anxious to see something in the woods. Sometimes he's walking really great. But we're going to get him trained. We have a little bit more on this hike. And we've been seeing some nice stuff on this trail. Lots of nice trees, The trail in certain spots is a little muddy, so probably in the rainy season you probably want good shoes. We haven't seen any animals yet, but that's not surprising. It is winter here in Pennsylvania, and but so far I think we're enjoying this hike. But it's good training for Leroy, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, just saw Leroy back there digging a hole. He doesn't like the moss on trails. Let's see what Lori thinks of this. Lori, what'd you think of Leroy's exhibition of digging back there?
Yeah, he had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, is he being good?
Not really.
There you have it. But at least we have a nice view of this creek next to us. Okay, we're at the part of the trail here. We have a nice little bench that you can sit, and as you can see in front of me, the trail kind of follows along this little stream here. It's a beautiful walk. Leroy's starting to get the hang of it, but he still has a little bit of work to do. We have a little bit more on this hike to go. Let's see how he does the rest of the trip. Okay, we've come to the end of the hike. Again, we're at Dublin Gap Nature Trail at Colonel Denning State Park near Newville, Pennsylvania. Yeah, all trails I think had it at 1.5 miles. I've seen it listed at 1 mile. I'm not really sure. Lori, what did you think of this hike?
It was pretty easy.
And what was the footing and stuff like that?
It was a little slippery with the leaves and the wet soil, but they had it pretty well marked, and there's places that they had built up over the really slippery parts.
Yeah, for sure. During the raining season, you probably want to have good hiking shoes on. We're just out here in our sneakers because it's not, it's still winter here. And there's no snow on, so we could get away with it with just sneakers. This trail, has a lot of nice scenery. We'd highly recommend it. But again, at the state park, there's other hikes you can do, like Flat Rock. We've enjoyed that one in the past. And as you can see in this video, we have a little bit of work to do with Leroy. We're still training him. We're hoping that he'll get the hang of these hikes so we can go off on something longer. Keep your fingers crossed first. And if you have any comments on training suggestions, please list them in the comments below. We need your help as much as Leroy needs our help. So if you can, please do so. Let us know what we can do differently to train Leroy on these trails. But this is where we're going to end this video. I want to thank everybody for watching. And until next time, this is Cool Places Across America with CNL signing out.
Hold on, don't leave too fast. Maybe you remember in the beginning those cows that we ran into when we stopped at that little store, that farm store that was selling pup cups. Well, we promised Leroy that if he'd be better on the hike, especially at the end, then maybe we'd stop and get him one. Well, we did stop and get him one, and he seemed to really like it.